friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores. I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and hopefully sell them for a profit. Today's Wednesday, August 19th, and usually I have a ship with me video where I share with you everything that sold the prior day as I ship it out, wrap it up, ship it out to go on to its new home. But I didn't sell anything yesterday, but my teenage daughter did. She has been selling things on Depop, and I thought this would be a good time to kind of talk about how reselling works well with kids. Or maybe another way to phrase that would be like tips for working a reselling business with kids. So first I'm going to show you what she sold, and then I'm going to talk about it kind of from like baby on and kind of different strategies to either have them involved or occupied while doing this. All right, so this is a little locket that she sold. It's really cute. I don't think it's anything, but it does have, so here it's empty, it's a little locket. It does have a little tag on it here that says 6. I don't know if that's a brand. I don't know anything about jewelry. I can tell you that most of her jewelry that she has either been bought at a thrift store or she buys things on Amazon. That's not what I would prefer for her, but I don't know. So I guess maybe I should start with teenagers. Teenagers might be the easiest category of kid to resell with because they're mostly, independent and what is the word I'm looking for? Self-sufficient. Now I know that doesn't apply to every teenager. Certainly there are special needs and extenuating circumstances, right? My oldest daughters are 18 and 16. And so I said I was going to start with babies, but I'm going to start with teenagers. And for me, it looks like my daughter wanted to buy stuff on Depop all the time. And she has her own money. She has a job. She has her own money. She can do that. But she was finding that she wanted to buy more than what she had available. And so I said, you know what? You should list some stuff on Depop. So she got her own little Depop account and she started listing stuff. Now, part of it is what she has listed so far is just things that she had in her closet that she was done with. But I also have been getting rid of some things, and some of those things are still good. When I say things, I mean my inventory. I have things that I listed ages ago, and some of them are still really cute. Maybe they just don't have a good brand attached, or I didn't mark it correctly, with keywords and things like that. And so I told her that she could have access to any of those things, any of those old inventory, and that she can list them if she wants. So she hasn't yet, but I have one daughter, that daughter in particular, that does enjoy thrifting with me. And while she generally is looking for things for herself, she will often find 1 or 2 items in each trip and bring it to me. She knows a fair amount about, a lot about style. She's very stylish. But she knows, a fair amount about the kind of brands and the kind of things that I sell. One thing that she did bring to me that sold really fast, I think this was a year or 2 ago, was there were a pair of jeans that Taylor Swift had worn at like a football game or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was a pair of jeans that Taylor Swift had worn. I never would have known. I didn't even look through the jeans section that day, but she knew that they were like a dupe. They weren't the same brand that Taylor had worn, but they were like the exact same style. And so I ended up selling them for, if I remember correctly, it was like $50, and they sold fairly quickly. So she helps me in those kinds of ways. My 18-year-old for a while was taking pictures for me. And so I had one category of items that I taught her how to do it. She knew the specifics of what I needed. And so she would do that one category. It was pants, shorts, and skirts. So she knew I taught her how to do the measurements of that specific category, and then told her, for a while she followed a list, like front. I just kind of like listed out all the photographs that I wanted her to take after I had shown her how to do it. And so I would pay her $1 an item. She could do probably 10 items an hour. And so she was making $10 an hour. It was helping me. Once she got a job, she kind of fell off doing that, but that was something that was really helpful for me, helpful for her, and was easy enough for her to do in her spare time. And because it was, just out here in our garage right off our house, it was convenient for her. So teenagers, I feel like, are probably the easiest. I do kind of want to flip back to babies, and babies are probably the hardest. And what I want to say is, if you have a baby that is like newborn to 8 weeks, 12 weeks, maybe even 16 weeks, if you don't have to do anything, don't. I know that is comes from a place of privilege, and that some people don't have that privilege of not having to do anything. But if you can just take that time to rest and heal and be with your baby, that is what you should do. If you can't, I would say go as slow as you can, and also try to get help. Again, I know that comes from a place of privilege. Not everyone has the availability to have help. So when I'm thinking about babies and maybe even toddlers, there's a couple different things that come to mind. And one is just having help. Whether you have a spouse or a partner who can, take the baby for an hour or two, the toddler for an hour or two while you work on something every day. Whether you maybe have a friend that you can switch off, I'll take your kids on Tuesday for 2 hours, and you take my kids on Thursday for 2 hours, and you switch off. And so then you have some dedicated time. Of course, the saying, nap when baby naps, is work when baby works, or not when baby works, when baby naps. That is an option as well. But I do, especially in those early months, I, really nap if you can. When baby naps, get as much rest as you can, because your body did some really hard work and your body is healing, providing you're the one who had the baby. Get as much help as you can. A kind of creative way to do that is, I'm thinking of my 10-year-old daughter. My 10-year-old daughter loves babies, loves toddlers. She would be thrilled. We have a neighbor who had a baby, and if that neighbor called and said, "Hey, would you come play with my baby for an hour and I will give you $2, she would be on cloud 9. One, she would probably do it for free just to play with the baby. But two, to make $2 is huge for her. Now, that probably won't work for everyone, but if you have a responsible older child in your life who might be interested in earning a few dollars while they play with your child, that would work for an older baby, a toddler, a preschooler, to kind of occupy them while, I'm thinking like you would still be in the house with them while they're playing in the next room. And so then if an emergency comes up, you're right there, but it's someone else to like occupy the child. The other thing that I want to tell you about, maybe maybe you don't, is baby wearing. If you have a baby all the way from like infant through to like a younger preschooler, you can, there's baby carriers that you can wear on your body. And so I did this a lot with all of my kids, and you can have them on your front, you can have them on your back. There's all sorts of different types and styles of carriers. But that was always a way that I could get things accomplished, especially when I had more than one child. It gave me my hands free, but I was still holding my child close to me. They would often nap like that, because I know a lot of kids won't nap unless you're near. So baby wearing, I think, is a really good option. You know, you could, my photography stuff is right here. If you didn't know, like, I could be taking pictures and have a baby on my back and be pretty productive in that. Now, when you get into like a later toddler, preschooler, one of the things that kids really like to do is, it's called parallel play. They don't really like play with other kids or with adults. They just like to play next to someone. And so, of course, their best friend is you, right? And so they want to be next to you. So one thing that I think would be really cool would be to get like a pretend camera. So when you are taking photographs, your toddler or preschooler could be pretending to take photographs as well. Similarly to that with like shipping, they could have their own, you know, pretend or play shipping supplies. They could have, you know, boxes to play with or things like that. And the other thing would be to have a special toy that they would only have access to when you're working. I did this a lot. We do this with trips, especially when the kids were younger. You know, there were toys that were only available in the car, so that when we had a long trip, it was like a special toy that they didn't get to play with very often. And then, so it could be, you know, maybe a puzzle, or maybe art supplies, maybe not art supplies, because you don't want to clean up the mess after. Maybe a specific set of toys that gets put away until, like, okay, mom or dad or whoever is going to take pictures now. And so here is this set of Legos that you don't get very often. Duplos, Mega Blocks, right? So then they're like, oh, this is fun and exciting because this is not something that I just have access to all the time. It feels new. So yeah, something like that. Then when they get a little older, like my younger kids are 8 and 10, and so they are a part of this in a lot of different ways. Right now, it looks like my son is riding his bike in the alley behind our house, and my daughter is just staring at me.
Hi, I help with her a lot.
She does help with me a lot. So it could look like my 10-year-old has actually taken pictures with me. That took a long time. It was a lot of me being patient, but I could teach her, probably even my 8-year-old, I could teach her to take a specific category of pictures, something probably pretty simple. I'm trying to think of what would be hats. Hats would be really easy to take photographs of. You take the front, you take the back, you take a close-up of the label, and you're done. I could probably teach her to take those pictures and be really consistent with it, and pay her, what, like $0.25? $1. Yeah, she likes her money. But pay her a little bit of money so that, you know, she is earning money, learning the value of money, and is, you know, working alongside me.
Your oldest daughter used to take pictures.
We've
too.
already talked about that, thanks.
Oh.
Sometimes I've been doing this for almost 5 years, and over the past 5 years, I've thrown my back out twice, and I have been in a place where I like physically could not do anything. And you were probably 7 or 8 the first time it happened, and she was able to actually package things up for me. And she often, it's been a while since she's done it, but she will often sit out here and help me package things while I'm chatting with you. The other thing is, like, when we're thrifting, I can send them on missions. So I might say, hey, go look through all the stuffed animals and see if you can find any jelly cats. They know how to look for they know how to look on the tags for the word jelly cat. They can both spell, obviously, at 8 and 10. I have sent them on missions before, like, go through all the men's clothes and see if you can find anything that is a really bright floral print, like a Hawaiian print. And so they'll come back with Hawaiian print. I've taught them what linen feels like, and so they can go through and touch things and
linen?
find, am I wearing linen? My pants are linen, yes. And yeah, so they can help in those ways as well. So in the older kid vein, genre, age bracket, that's the word I'm looking for. Of course my neighbor's gonna mow every time. Every time. Okay. Anyway, the older kid, it's more about, at that point, like, how can they help? Do they want to help? And not necessarily having to occupy them while I'm working, although sometimes I do need to put them in a direction, but they don't need my one-on-one or my direct supervision all the time. I just need to be able to check on them occasionally. So I didn't make notes or anything, so I'm sure I've forgotten something. I know that there are lots of people who have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, friends that have really great ideas and suggestions. So if you have one of those suggestions that I haven't mentioned for reselling with kids, then could you just put those in the comments? That would be great. If you have questions, let me know. I will try my best to answer them. You are the good question asker. I didn't even ask a question yesterday because you weren't out here. Do you have a good question?
What kind of dots do you like?
Dots?
Dots.
Okay, let's make this a little more broad. So, dots, pretzels. This is like my snack of choice lately. I like the just regular seasoned pretzels. So, let's try this. What is your favorite crunchy snack?
Could be chips, could be pretzels, could be crackers,
Could be
fish.
Could be anything. There's lots of crunchy snacks. So what's your favorite crunchy snack? What's your favorite crunchy snack?
Doritos.
Doritos. You very rarely have Doritos. Hey bud, do you, oh, he's off. Never mind. So let us know your favorite crunchy snack in the comments. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you like the video. Oh, you want to say it?
And subscribe. Hashtag Jenn.
All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. We'll see you soon.